Good morning, students. In this class, we will start the new chapter Adaptations in Plants. We know that plants are found everywhere on earth. The plants may be found in the plains, on the hills, in the deserts, in lakes, and also in river, and also in oceans. The place where a plant is found is called habitat. Since the weather, soil, and the other natural conditions in every place are different, so according to this change or according to this weather or the soil, the plant make some changes in their features, and these changes or this property is called adaptation. For example, we can say that the cactus plant grow well in desert, but pine grow well in mountain areas. We can classify the plants into two main categories. The first one is terrestrial plants, and the next one is aquatic plants. The terrestrial plants are those plants that plant grow on land are called terrestrial plants. And these plants may grow in plains, on mountains, in deserts, in areas with heavy rainfall, and in marshy areas. The example of plants those grow well in plains are neem, gulmohar, ashoka. These plants shed their old leaves in autumn session and bear new leaves in spring session. Now the next one is plants on mountains. The example of plants those grow in mountains are cedar, pine. Since these plants are grow in mountain areas and this area is heavily snowfall area, so the shape of these plants are in cone shape such that the snow easily can slow down from the plants. Now the next one is plants in desert. The example of plants those are grow in deserts are babul, kikar, date plum. Since these plants are grow in desert and this place is no rainfall area, so the adaptations in desert plants ensure that they acquire the most of the water that is available to them, while at the same time the loss of water is minimum. And since these plants are in no rainfall area and they are not getting a sufficient water from the soil, they want to reduce their evaporation. All the leaves of plant changed into thorn. This is because water does not evaporate easily from the thorns. Now the next plants, the plants in areas with heavy rainfall. The plants those are grow in heavy rainfall area, they are green in color. Because of that, they are called evergreen trees. They do not shed their leaves, for example, rubber and teak. Now, the next category of plants is aquatic plants. The plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. There are three main types of aquatic plants. The first one is free floating plants, fixed plants, and underwater plants. Now let us learn free floating plants. The example of free floating plants is the duckweed. These plants can float because they are either light or small in size, and the root of these plants do not touch the ground. That is, these plants are not fixed, or we can say that the roots of these plants are not touch the ground or soil. Now the next plants is fixed plants, and the example of these plants is lotus water lily. These plants have their roots fixed in the soil at the bottom of the lake. The stem of these plants are long, hollow, light and flexible. These adaptations allow the stem to bend easily in the direction of flow of water without breaking or getting uprooted. Now the next plants are underwater or submerged plants. These plants are completely submerged under the water. Their leaves are thin, ribbon-like and narrow to allow water current to flow through them easily. These plants make their food by absorbing carbon dioxide given out by aquatic animals. Till now, we have learned about some green plants, but there are some unusual plants, and these plants are classified into two main categories. First one is insectivorous plants, and next one non-green plants. There are some plants that eat insects. They are called insectivorous plants. And the example of these plants are pitcher plants. The leaf of pitcher plant is modified into a pitcher-like structure whose walls produced sweet nectar. When an insect enters inside the pitcher to feed on nectar, the lid closes, trapping the insect inside it, and the wall of this pitcher are secreted inside the pitcher to digest the insect. There are one more plant, those are called non-green plants, but we know most of the plants are green, but these plants are not green because these plants do not have chlorophyll. These plant grow on other plants, on dead animals, or on plants, or on stale food. They get their food from whatever they grow on